Alright, in this video we're going to find the sixth term, and we're dealing with a common difference that is going to be less than 1. Now, one of the ways that we know that it's going to be a common difference less than 1 when we look at it is, if you notice right here by looking at this, these values are decreasing. So whenever you have a sequence that they're giving you and the values are decreasing, you should be thinking that your common difference is going to be less than 1. So what we need to do is we're going to follow the same rule that we normally do. We're going to take this second value, and then we're going to subtract the value before it from it. So in that way we can find our common difference. So for instance, I'm going to say 396 minus 400. And if I put that in my calculator, and you're welcome to use your calculator on these, we're just setting up the problem, that would just tell me that I actually decreased by -4. Or you could work it out by hand. That -4 is going to tell me my common difference. So I'm going to put a D right there. So I know my D now. I know the common difference. I need to find my a sub 1, and that's always the first number in my sequence. Now that I know the a sub 1 and I know the common difference, I'm going to go ahead and write my explicit formula. So it's a sub n is equal to my D, which is -4, times n minus 1 plus 400. Now that's going to be my explicit formula right there, and if you're wondering where I got that from, if you need a refresher, it's a sub n is equal to D times n minus 1 plus a sub 1. So we just substituted our values for the common difference and for a sub 1. So now what we can do is we determine what sequence we need to find. And now this one says find the sixth term. So since we want to find the sixth term, we're going to change this to 6, right? Because instead of a sub n, we're looking for a sub 6. And that's going to be equal to -4 times 6 minus 1 plus 400. And what we can do is just put this in our calculator. It'll do all the work for us, and we'll see exactly what the sixth term is going to be. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in. I'm going to say -4 times 6 minus 1 plus my a sub n, which is 400, and hit enter. And that puts me at 380. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. So 380 is going to be our sixth term. Now, if some of you just, I'm going to go ahead and expand on this. So I'm going to show you how we could have found it manually. So if we have this, right, we said this is a sub 1 is 400. Then we have 396, we have 392, we have 388. You could have said this is a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4. And if we just keep going down by 4, 384 is going to be a sub 5. And if we go down another 4, it's going to be 380. And that's going to be a sub 6. Now there may be some of you who are looking at this going, you know what, Mr. H, it's way easier to just subtract 4 after I find the common difference and find this, instead of trying to plug all this into the formula. But I want you to keep in mind that in some of these problems, it may ask you to find the 252nd term or the 300th term. And if you need to find a 300th term, you wouldn't want to write 300 different numbers out and do that much subtraction. It's just easier to plug it in, to substitute those values into your formula, your explicit formula, and solve for it. So anyways, this is how you find the answer to an arithmetic sequence whenever you have a common difference that's less than 1.